What's going on, guys? It's your boy Paperback Dan, and I am back to talk about a Kickstarter that I'm very much looking forward to. Today, I want to talk about Thema, the Queen of War from 615 Comics. Malcolm McFadden, the creator and writer of Thema, reached out to me about talking about his book, and I was happy to oblige. I think we had a great conversation, and it made me even more excited for this project. So, without further ado, what's going on, everybody? I am here today with a special guest. I'm here with the creator of Thema, and why don't you introduce yourself for me?
Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm Malcolm McFadden, the creator of 615 Comics, and I would like to thank you, Dan, for having me on your platform to promote what I do.
Of course, of course. Happy to have you here. Are you reading anything right now? I know making comics can be expensive and it can be busy, but like if you get the time, is there anything you're picking up?
Well, I'm a huge comic fan. I'm in the comic shop every Wednesday picking up comics.
I
So
love that.
right now, I literally just like an hour before I got on here, there's a comic called Honor and Curse by Mad Cave Comics, and it's kind of about
Oh.
like a it seems to be about a guy who is possessed by like a demon, and is the demon's keeping him alive, but he has
Mhm.
somehow um trapped the demon inside of his mind. And then so at the end of this comic, he kind of lets the demon out to kind of get some revenge and get some get back. So
Right.
I'm reading that. I'm also reading White Sky by Image Comics. That's a really good book, like post-apocalyptic. um what else, Murray? I'm reading actually a lot. And if we go into more mainstream with DC and Marvel, I'm reading Static and Batman Beyond right now. That one's really good.
Yep.
Marvel, I'm reading Moon Knight. That's one of my favorite. It's been consistently good for like 3 years now. I think
I've
it's
heard Jed McKay had been killing it, I heard.
yes,
Yeah.
that was I just really was trying to remember his name. Jed McKay. He is killing it. He's been on Moon Knight for like 3, 4 years,
It's
and it's
great.
been
Like he already
consistently
has an
good.
omnibus and he's still releasing more books. Like he's at this point he's gonna mess around and get a second one.
Yes, because he's killing it, bro. Like I don't when he's done, whoever does Moon Knight after him is they got a big shoes to fill, bro, because he is killing it. But yeah,
Yeah.
those are some of my favorites that I'm reading right now. Also Final Boss by Image. Image has a lot of
Ooh.
comics that I'm reading right now.
Yeah, image is what I pull most of these days. How was the Mad Cave book? What was it called again? Honor and Curse?
Honor and Curse, I believe. I could have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Honor and Curse.
It sounds right, but I wasn't sure. But I remember like wanting to keep an eye on that book. I forgot it came out last week, but
Yeah, that joint just dropped. And apparently, I think it's like either a revamp or a spin off of something that came in the past. I gotta check again, but it's really good. The first issue was fire.
what would you say maybe is your favorite comic ever, if you can come up with one?
Ooh, ever who is tough. I can it's I'll say one that I really love. I love the new and this is something newer. I love the new Static season 2 Shadows of Dakota. That one was really good, especially with Ebon, and of course Static is my favorite hero. So I thought that was a really it's probably my favorite Static story. I'm not gonna lie. So that one
Okay.
is probably up there with my favorite comic. If I had to pick something right now off the top of my head, that would be my favorite comic ever.
Okay. No, that's cool. I mean, I'm a 90s kid, so I love the Static Show, so I'll
Mhm.
always have like that little connection to it. I'll admit I haven't read any of his books yet, but it's not for lack of trying. I have a few. I just my to be read pile is massive.
Mine too, bro. Mine too. It's like this.
I wish I could say it was that small, but it is what it is. So, what got you into comics? When did it kind of click for you?
So really, my older brothers they had comics. So when I was a kid, it was really more so reading their comics when they had like they're a little bit older. I think my brothers are about 8, 9, 10 years older than me. So
Okay.
they had a bunch of comics when I was a kid. They had like old X-Men, they had Weapon X
Mhm.
comics, Captain America, Daredevil, Batman, Superman, the basic stuff that everybody normally has. And they had a lot of them back in the day. I wish I still had some of their comics, but they got me into it. And when I got older, when when I started kind of getting comics myself, my mom, it was actually pretty dope. My mom there's a subscription that you can just do, and it's like they would mail you Spider-Man comics, and it was about the time where Ultimate Spider-Man came out, so they
Okay.
would mail me the whole Ultimate Spider-Man. I think I had also Ultimate X-Men was in there too, but I would get those, and I started reading those, and then once I was old enough to buy my own comics, I believe New 52, yeah, New 52 was just starting to come out and everything. And that's when I was old enough to buy my own comics. And I started like reading New 52. And then from there, it's just been a journey of comics, going back to old comics and reading current comics that are coming out. So I've been a comic fan for pretty much as long as I can remember.
Okay. I mean, no, that's awesome. What maybe it was a book specifically, but what inspired you to start creating your own?
Oh, that's actually tough because I've been writing these stories for a while, creating these stories in my head for a while, but around like 2018, 2019 is where I kind of started like writing them down. I would say a story that made me want to become a creator, start actually creating my own stories or taking that foot forward, I think would have to be probably either a book by Concrete Comics or Wise Acre Comics, because those are
Mm,
indie comic companies that I was reading at the time that kind of inspired
yeah.
me to take this journey of creating comics. So I would say one of their books is what inspired me to actually start creating and putting that foot forward to become a comic book creator.
Was that like a you think because they're indie also, you think it was because it kind of made it feel more tangible, like more possible to actually be able to do it type of thing? It didn't seem like a pipe dream for like Marvel or DC or something?
100%, 100% it was. So
That's cool.
when I saw them doing it, saw other creators like me doing it, I looked up made me look up how to create a comic myself and how much money and stuff and what needs to go into create a comic. When I looked it up, I was like, I could actually do this. I can actually bring these stories that I have to life. So
Mhm.
definitely seeing that I seen other people doing it and seeing that I could relate to them too also really helped me to take that step forward.
And you said you've been doing this how long? Do you say 2019?
So 2018 and 19 is when I started really writing my ideas down.
Mm,
Write my ideas down. I think I released my first book in either I think 2021, I believe. Yeah,
okay.
so I've been doing this about maybe four, like officially, I think 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Cool. So I mean, you got some experience under your belt. You know how many books you have roughly that you've written, published, etc.?
Published right now, I believe 6 books total that I've published.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. And I've been curious what inspired the name for your publishing imprint company, whatever you'd like to call it.
So what inspired the name for 60 Comics was my friend. He actually passed away due to suicide years ago, a lot of years ago. He passed away, and in his house was like a hub for creativity where I built a lot of friendships with people who I'm still friends with and probably will be friends with till I die. But I built a lot of friendships there and creativity there. Learned a lot about myself at his house. So it was kind of his house number was 615. So I named my company
Uh,
615 to kind of keep the essence of that alive and that time alive and our friendships and everything, kind of keep that going. So that's why I named my company 615 Comics.
that's really cool. I mean, I'm sorry for your loss, but like the meaning behind that, like that's really cool. I don't think I've heard somebody do that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was it's something in my life that it's a time I'll never forget, and so I just really wanted to keep the spirit of creativity and the spirit of his house and everything alive.
Mhm.
So that's why I named it that.
That's no, that's cool. Honestly, like in my opinion, like I think that's a really cool way to like honor your friend. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
So we got this book. The campaign is currently active. I would normally I wait till later to ask for the launch date and all that, but the campaign is active as we speak, and it's already fully funded, right?
Yes,
And if
yes,
I saw correctly, we've already eclipsed 70 backers.
yes.
So
Actually, today, well, my phone is shining a spotlight on me now, but yeah, believe I'm up to 72 backers right now.
awesome. I mean, that's cool. Um, so what can you tell us about this book?
So this brand new book that I have is a brand new series. This is issue number 1 for Thema, the Queen of War. And this is kind of me. Normally I do normal superheroes, vigilantes type of stories, which this is kind of more so me stepping into like fantasy type of
Mhm.
stuff. Or so this story is about my character, Thema, the Queen of War, who is a character who's blessed by the gods with incredible abilities. And she's supposed to use these abilities to help these people through what seems to be like an endless war, right? And she's helping out the king, who is also her father. And then she gets sent to another world full of monsters while battling. So she gets sent to this world full of monsters, and while she's there all alone for ages, ages and ages. And then she finds a way back to our world, but the monsters come with her. So this story follows her, and it's kind of like a fish out of water story where she's
Okay.
trying to find her footing and find her place in the unfamiliar world, and and also at the same time defend these people from these monsters that are attacking people that came with her from another world. So it's full of gods, monsters, magic, action. It's a really dope book. It's a beautiful book too. It's one of my best looking books. The artist and colorist did a phenomenal job on it. But yeah, it's really me stepping out of kind of the superhero genre that I normally am in, and
Mhm.
kind of stepping into something more different. And so if you're like a fan of Wonder Woman, Xenon, this is something that is right up your alley.
Okay, that's cool. And I do have to say, like the preview art that I saw on the campaign page, because I was looking through it today. I agree though. I do really like how it looks. I love the aesthetic, and I do think the art and color work is pretty damn solid.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, man. The art team did a great job. I'm always impressed with how like these artists are able to bring my ideas to life. Like it seems like sometimes like they're in my head, but like they bring my ideas to life so well, so well. And this one, it really turned out great. And this actually was a book that I had the inks for a while, and I finally got it colored. I think sometime around last year.
Mm.
I've like the inks were done for about 2 years now, I believe, and then the inks were colors were done last year, and it's actually the lettering is actually it's going through lettering right now, which I'm hoping to get that back this week so I can use that as promotion. But yeah, it's a
Okay.
great book. The artwork, everything came out great. I really don't think it could have came out better.
Cool. I mean, can't argue with that, right? I mean, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Um, so I know you said Wonder Woman and Xena. Would you say that that's kind of the inspiration for this book, partially?
Yeah, partial. That's part of the inspiration. Just creating a warrior woman. Because growing up, I think us as boys have an affection for warrior women. You feel me? Especially since I'm a mama's boy. So,
Mm.
seeing warrior women has always been something that's dope to me. And also, speaking of being a mama's boy, the inspiration for Thema comes from the strong women in my life. I've been blessed to have a lot of strong women in my life, growing up, even in life now. So it kind of Thema is kind of like a mixture of a lot of them, just for how
Mm.
strong they are, with how resilient they are, and just and how beautiful they are. So just think that was one of the inspirations for Thema. It's kind of like an ode to like the women in my life. And
Okay.
also in Thema, one of the inspirations was I did a lot of diving into African mythology the last few years. So of course that means like gods and folklore, but that also means monsters and creatures and stuff like that. So I found a lot of dope creatures in African mythology. So I wanted to like use them in this book. So I definitely wanted my warrior woman to fight monsters. Like it had to be she's fighting monsters. I wanted her fighting
Okay.
monsters.
Yeah.
So I definitely added using the monsters from African mythology that like were dope that I never knew anything about, was dope to use and to write and use those characters. Oh, creatures.
Okay, that's cool. And I mean, so when you say African mythology, does it include any like Egyptian stuff? Because I that was some of the vibes that I was getting from some of the images I saw.
Yes, from the area where it is, like from the area. So I used the ancient kingdom of Kush. It was like this African kingdom of way, way back in the day. That is kind of used, it's in the Egypt area. So
Mhm.
some of those gods and stuff, like I use Isis, Petimock, and Ra, which are all like Egyptian gods, which were
Yeah.
which which would be the gods around that time period. Those are some of the gods that are around the time period. So yeah, it definitely has like Egyptian feel to it and Egyptian vibes to it that I definitely wanted to incorporate in the book.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I dig that. I watched a video you posted earlier talking about how like in high school or whatever we learned about like Greek mythology and like Roman
Hmm.
mythology and whatever, and even like there's some like Norse mythology that's getting like
Hmm.
popular now because like Thor and Loki, whatever. Um, but like the Egyptian mythology was like something that always fascinated me, and I feel like we didn't touch on it enough when I was in school. Like we learned a little bit about it, but like I don't know. I always thought it was cool, and I've always been like looking for more media that like will touch on that stuff or like involved it or whatever. So this is cool. That's one thing I'm excited about for sure.
Like I said, we learn a lot about Greek mythology, but we and it's a little bit of Egyptian mythology we learn about. But Africa as a continent, the whole continent, we don't really learn about too much mythology from Africa. And so
Yeah.
that was definitely one thing I wanted to look into because as you know, as a kid, we do learn a little bit about Egyptian mythology. At least I dived into it. Well, I was a big fan of like mummies and stuff, so that was one of the
Yeah.
reasons I dived into it. But like we learned about Anubis and like of course Ra and stuff like that. But we never learned about Africa as a whole, like
Right.
the different like different tribes and different areas have different gods and deities
Hmm.
and also tales and stories. So that was one thing that was really fun and it actually expanded my writing and expanded my creativity because I started using some of those stories and like inspiration from some of those stories to write other stories. Like I have many other stories I've written that hopefully one day I can bring to life. But looking into that really helped me with my creativity and kind of boomed a lot. So even things that may not even seem like I got inspiration from that I started writing, even comes from that. So that was dope for me as a creator.
No, that's cool. And honestly, I feel like sometimes just I haven't created anything yet, but I do think that sometimes the research that goes into it can be kind of fun, like for
Mhm.
the creator, you know, like you get to deep dive into all this stuff that like fascinates you or that you never learned about or whatever. Like I feel like some people don't think about that. And I don't know, it just occurred to me right now, I guess. But I think that's dope.
Yeah, the research as a writer and creator, the research is one of the funnest parts because it's like at times though it's at times I tell my wife this sometimes I'm like I hope there's not like a government agent looking at like my Google because like sometimes the things I gotta Google like
Yeah.
especially if it's like I'm like an action comment or something like violent like it's things that I have to Google or something like that is crazy but the research is always fun because it's stuff that you are already interested in so it's kind of
Hmm.
like, you know, just doing homework for stuff that you like. So it's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool. So how long have you had the idea for Thema in your head? Like how long has this story been kind of percolating?
Well, a long time. So probably since Xenon the Warrior Princess. So I've always thought about it, but I think really if I go back to when I really sat down and said, okay, this is the character, this is the storyline, I would say Thema I started writing um it wasn't too long after 2021. I want to say maybe 2023. I wish I knew exactly the time, but I think that was around the time when I really sat down. Well, maybe no, because it's been done for about 2 years. So I think it was written a little way before I actually got it. So I would say 2022. I would say 2022 is when I started like sitting down to write Thema and got like the idea for Thema and kind of started putting everything together.
Okay. That's cool. So, what are your long-term and or short-term goals with this book? Do you have kind of maybe like a loose issue count in your head? Like, is the story does it finish in your brain already? Do you have the ending for it? Like,
Yeah, so this series is actually very different. So many of my other series, I plan for those to go until I die. So I have a a long route for those. But with
mhm,
Thema, this one I have 6 issues. I The 6 issues are done. I'm still tweaking the ending a little bit, but I've written the 6 issues already, and it's supposed to end after six. I left a little bit of a cliffhanger just in case I want to continue it. Like it's not a crazy
mhm.
big uh cliffhanger, it's just something that I left in there
Just a
just in
little like
case.
open-ended type of thing.
Kinda. It's more so like a Easter egg that's in there that later on I can use
Mm,
that to continue the story.
okay,
But that's if I want to, and if like the story is popping and people like it. But it's
right.
really Thema. I only have issues planned for Thema. And for right now, that's it. Like I said, I did leave it open just in case I want to continue, and I do kind of have the story that I want to continue with if I do continue. I
Okay.
probably will end up writing that at some point. But yeah, it's only really planned for 6 issues.
That's cool. I mean, listen, I love a story that has like a nice planned start to
Hmm.
end. Like as a consumer, like I don't know, it eases my mind because like you hear about books that don't get finished and whatever, or like
Hmm.
books get canceled before they can be finished and things like that. So when there's a plan, like I love that.
Yeah, and especially as like you said, as a consumer, sometimes like especially with DC and Marvel, they sometimes have plans for longer, and then money wise or not, or people not buying the book, they have to start cutting it short. Like that's happening right now with Marvel with the Planet She-Hulk. Like I just saw
Yeah.
Stephanie Phillips talk about how that was supposed to go longer, but now they're cutting it, and they're cutting abruptly, so the story kind of has to change. So yeah, I definitely get that. Me as a consumer, I definitely like when I can get the finished story. And that's one thing I definitely wanted to do with Thema. I wanted people to have like a finished story, like not something that just keeps continuing, because that's what I have already. So I
Yeah.
wanted something where they can like after 6 issues, this is done, and it may continue on after that. It may not.
That's cool. Yeah, and the Marvel thing is exactly like what I had in mind. Like the whole Imperial line, like
Exactly.
it feels like a disaster. Like I don't know what. I guess it didn't make whatever numbers they hit, but that's the importance of pre-ordering your comics, I
Hmm.
guess. But yeah, that like it's frustrating because I don't buy a lot of Marvel these days, but like that was something that I was like all in for. I'm like, okay, we got Hickman on Cosmic, like maybe they'll leave him
Yes.
alone, and then we can have something, not like the X-Men where they just saw it as a cash cow and then they like push Hickman to the side and like, all right, the rest of you guys just keep writing more X-Men stories and he'll come back eventually. Like I thought with Imperial, like we actually like we're gonna get something, and
Hmm.
I feel like it's over before it even started.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I feel the same way because Imperial it started off so good. It started
Mhm.
so good. It just seemed, yeah, like you said, it seems like it's ending before it even actually really started, and that kind of takes the air out the balloon for me. Like it just
Mhm.
ruins it. Like especially playing She-Hulk. I was loving playing the She-Hulk. I thought it was. I'm not even a big She-Hulk fan. Like I don't normally read She-Hulk, but
Yeah.
that book was really good, and I was loving it. But now it's just getting cut short.
Yep. And there's that the Guardians book that they basically announced it was going to be canceled or going to be a miniseries, whatever you want to call it, before the first issue even came out. I'm like, how are you supposed to sell books that way?
Right, yeah. Like,
Like
why would you tell us that before we started buying it?
crazy. But I don't know. So anyway, so we have. Do you know how many days we have left roughly at the time of this filming for the campaign?
22, 21, one of those two.
Okay, I
I
think
be-
that sounds right. I think I saw 22 this morning, but I couldn't remember.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure 22. I'm pretty sure 22.
okay, and I'm gonna do my best. I'm putting this on camera so I can hold myself accountable. I'm gonna do my best to get this out tomorrow, so we'll still have 3 weeks for the campaign by the time people see this. What kind of rewards can we expect for people that are back in this campaign?
Yeah, so the rewards we have right now, I have two covers, I have three covers. Three covers, the main, the variant, and then a collector's edition cover. The collector's edition cover on there comes with never before seen artwork on the inside. It's something I do with all my number ones. I do a collector's edition cover where I have an artist do some artwork that I don't show or share with anybody, and only people that buy that physical book will see that artwork. So it's something that I just wanted to do. I'm a big variant cover fan. I'm a big variant cover fan, and but one thing that always makes me mad about variant covers is that there's nothing extra. It's just a variant cover. There's nothing extra on
Mhm.
the inside, and I get that. I get that we buy it for the cover, but so I just wanted to do something with variant covers to add that for my collector's edition covers. So that's one thing that's special on that you can get, and also I have two of my other books that are available that I kind of packaged with Thema available as rewards. My book of A New Breed. With it being Women's History Month, it actually gave me a excuse to kind of put these together and package them to kind of show love to the women of my comic book universe.
Hmm.
And you can get those books together, and also the last Kickstarter I had last month, well, 2 months ago, the King's Domain.
Hmm.
That one is also packaged with Theme of the Queen of War, so you can get those also. I have stickers, posters. What else do I have? Stickers, posters. Yeah, that's pretty much stickers, posters, comics. I really like to kind of stick to selling the comics. Having extra stuff helps sometimes, but really people really come for the comics. So I kind of put emphasis on selling the comics and have a little bit of extra stuff here and there like stickers and posters, but really people love the comics. Oh, also, sorry, that I also forgot. I have one thing that I'm doing with my comics and series is each of my characters I'm doing a line of posters where I'm doing like a Met Gala, where my characters are like dressed like they're at a Met Gala, and I'm doing a
Okay.
line of posters for that. The first one I did was for A New Breed, and the second one I'm doing is for Thema, which is actually available on this Kickstarter. So those are some of the rewards you'll get. And also, if you're a digital fan, if you read digital comics, my entire library of comics that I have is available digitally on this Kickstarter too. So if you're looking to get into more of my books, that's also available.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty thorough. I like that. I do also like that you're kind of keeping it simple with the rewards, with the stickers and the prints, because like sometimes other stuff can be too much. Like the last person that I was talking to, they kind of have the same idea as you, is like their focus is just the comic. Like they want to do everything they can to make that like the best version of the comic that they can, because that's what people are coming for, really. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, the print is cool also, but like they're not buying the print, they're buying the comic. So like an emphasis on that I think is very important. Um and like the prints and stickers, like as much as I love them, most of them are sitting in a drawer in my closet. So like, you know what I mean? Like as cool as it is to have them, I'm not really doing anything with them. It's just kind of taking up some space. So
Yeah, so that's one thing I was thinking about. When I first got into comics, I was thinking about doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like I did trading cards. I wanted to do some other things. But as I went along and was starting to sell things, I really saw that people really want the comics. Like the stickers and the posters are cool. That's why I wanted to do like a line of gala events, because I see people really like those and buy those, because it's like it's dope artwork that people can actually post on, that can actually put on their walls and stuff.
mhm.
So that's why I wanted to do that. I wanted to make it so like the posters are something that you would actually buy and want to put on your walls, and that the stickers were kind of, now I my first stickers, when I started out doing stickers, they were trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was using a bad company for stickers, but I found a new company for stickers that does really dope stickers, and I'm kind of getting more creative with the stickers because people really
Okay.
actually like stickers. That's one thing
Mhm.
that's really actually strange. People like really good stickers. So got into making those more, but like you said, the focus is always the comics, because I see people do other things with Kickstarters, and sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't, and it's not really cost efficient to do extra things like sometimes t-shirts and things like that aren't really cost efficient, and then especially when people are really just coming for the books. So I try to put emphasis on the books and then selling the books.
Yep. Yeah. No, I totally get it. My concern sometimes with some of these campaigns that I see get run is that they're like spreading themselves a little too thin with, like you said, like with t-shirts or whatever. Some people do coins, and like the coins are really cool, don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like how much of an extra expense is this for you? Like, is this, like you said, cost efficient? Like, I don't know. But
Yeah, it definitely, that's one thing to think about, because it is cool to have some of these dope rewards, but at the end of the day, if people aren't buying it, and especially if like it especially sometimes like if it's like you got to get a certain amount ordered. Like let's say if like sometimes with
mhm,
comic books, like on my printer comic Wellspring, I believe it's 20 comics, that's the least I can get. So let's say if I do a Kickstarter and I have
okay.
like 5 different covers, and one of those covers only sells like five of that cover, I have to get 20. So like that is extra expense on. So like the Kickstarter pays for me to get the 5. You feel me? Kickstarter
Yeah.
pays me to get the 5,
Yep.
but now I gotta get these extra 15 because I didn't sell as many. So that's something to think about, especially if you have to buy in bulk of something. Like I used the comics as an example, but sometimes t-shirts can also be a thing like that. So
Yeah.
if you have to buy in bulk, that's something to think about. Like you want to make sure that it's something that can sell.
Yeah, for sure. And especially like not a lot of people that run these campaigns, do these books, etc., will be the type of person to go to like a convention and try to sell it. So
Hmm.
then it's like, well, okay, well, do you have a website to sell whatever, the other 15 books that you didn't sell as part of the campaign type of thing? Like there's a lot that can go into it. One
Yes,
thing I do want to touch on before I forget, I love the idea of what do you say, the collector edition, where
collector's
you're like
edition covers. Yep.
adding art to like that is awesome. Like what you said about the paying for the variants and stuff, like that's
Mhm.
cool, but like I do kind of hate that, so the different page on the front makes this like worth $5 extra. Like to me, that always seems kind of off. But like if you're doing that and then like getting extra art on the inside like that, I think that's really cool. I love that idea.
Yeah, thanks, bro. That was that really just came to me as a fan of comics. I like I said, I love comics. I love covers. I'm a cover collector. If I see a cover that's dope, I get it just because the cover. So like, but I always thought like, I'm buying these covers, but all I'm really getting is just a different cover. The book on the inside is exactly the same. So that was one thing I just thought. I was like, hey, what is something I can do a little bit different? I was like, hey, I can add artwork on the inside. I actually had a couple different ideas. I wish I could remember some of those other ideas, but once I got that idea, I was like, I just went with it and ran with it. But I thought it was something dope to do for people that collect covers, or this could be like since I only do it for my number ones. This
Hmm.
like since people love collecting number ones, it could really be a collector's edition. Like you're getting a number one plus never before seen artwork that only people that have this comic, and I don't get those reprinted. I get they're available on the Kickstarter, and I get the ones for the Kickstarter, and sometimes I have extra and I sell those extra, and once I sell those, there's no more of them. Like there's I'm not going to do them again because like I said, I want it to be a collector's thing. So it's really just one thing I wanted to do, kind of to add my little flavor to comic book
Yeah.
creating. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's awesome. So we talked about rewards already. Do you have any stretch goals in mind?
Yeah, so right now I have a stretch goal since I reached my goal. If I get to when I get to 2K,
There you go.
when I get to $2,000, I have a poster for my collector's edition cover. The cover for that, I'm gonna have it as a poster that all backers get for free. Physical backers. I really want to push people getting the physicals because I love physical books, and of course,
Hmm.
it helps me if you get the physical books. But um all physical backers will get a free poster. I will have once I get to 2K, I will release the next stretch goal. Um, and then so on and so forth. It just kind of is a way to help me continue to promote the campaign. So right now we're just headed toward I think a little under $400 away. Yeah. I'm at 16
Yeah.
hundred and some change. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm under $400 away from my next stretch goal.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, I like free stuff, so like
Right. Me too. Me too.
that's pretty dope. So for the most part, that's all I had for you today as far as questions. Is there anything else that we didn't go over that you want to touch on real quick?
No, this was dope. It was yeah, it was straightforward. Really, I really wanted to promote the Kickstarter, so and tell people about the Kickstarter. So, of course, I do. I also do. Also have a YouTube channel called Yo a Nerd. You can follow me on there, where I also talk about comic books I'm reading, also just stuff in the nerd realm of things, and I also talk about other indie comic book creators like myself. So, I also have that too. So you can check me out on Yo a Nerd on YouTube. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, the Kickstarter Theme of the Queen of War is available right now on Kickstarter. We're at 72 backers. We've fully reached our goals. So if you back it, you are getting your product. Um, You can ask about me whenever I fulfill all my Kickstarter campaigns. That's a big thing with Kickstarters is people don't fulfill their campaigns, and I trust me, I'm not one of those people.
Hmm.
I always try to make sure I don't try. I always do make sure everybody gets what they paid for and what they wanted. So, yeah, the Kickstarter is fully funded, and if you back it, you're getting your rewards once it ends. Um, yeah,
You know
like you said,
when?
when it ends.
Sorry, when people might start seeing rewards? Do you have an estimated
Oh,
date?
yeah, so the Kickstarter will end. The Kickstarter itself ends, I believe. I started on the 20th or something like that. So I think it will end close to the end of April. And then Kickstarter takes 2 weeks for it to collect your funds. And then once
Hmm.
I get those funds, then I use those to get it printed. And then that takes about 2 weeks. So expect your rewards literally the next month. The next month, because I just have to
Okay,
wait for
so
the
like
Kickstarter.
June-ish maybe.
Yes, June, January, March, April. Maybe more
Maybe July. Oh,
early
okay.
June.
Even
Yeah, late
okay.
May, early June. Because, like I said, the book is in lettering right now,
Hmm.
so that should be done this week or later this week. So from there, all it would be was just getting the book printed. So I'll use the funds from the campaign to get it printed. So, like I said, it takes 2 weeks for Kickstarter to collect your funds and send it to me. Then it takes 2 weeks for my printer to print and then ship me the comics. And then once they ship me the comics, I ship those out right away. I bag and board them, ship them out right away. So literally the month after the Kickstarter ends, you should start seeing your rewards.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty damn quick. I'm not gonna like some people. I understand not every book's finished right away, but like some
Mhm.
people end up waiting a little while, like a month. That's a pretty damn good turnaround for a Kickstarter book.
Yeah, and that's that like that comes from also me as a fan. A lot of things I do come from me as a fan of comics before I became a creator. I was backing a lot of Kickstarters and I as a I say this multiple ways. As a fan, I understand like you want to get your books on time. Like I backed this Kickstarter and you know you gotta wait for the Kickstarter to run and then you gotta wait for it to end and stuff like that. So I always hated having to wait maybe a year or so before I get a book. So I didn't want to do that to my fans. And also me as a creator, I do understand like not getting your books out quick because sometimes people use the funds to pay for the book and get the book finished.
Right.
So, but that was one thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want well, one thing I know that I know that things can happen. What is the quote? Anything that can happen will happen, or whatever
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I always know that things can mess up, and I don't want to people everybody to give me this money for this book, and then I have to hire the artist, and then next thing you know, the artist dips or something like that, and I can't finish the book in time. So I
Right.
always wanted to make sure, like at least my book was close to being finished for
Hmm.
close before I do the Kickstarter, so I know that I can get these people these books in a quick and easy fashion. So I wish I can get to you quicker, but just with how Kickstarter works and the time frame of things and printing,
Right.
it still takes like a month for me to get you your books. But yeah, I'll and when I went into comic creating, I wanted to make sure that I did that. It's also to build trust. Like I said before, there are a
Hmm.
lot of people don't sometimes fulfill their Kickstarters, and that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths why they don't support Kickstarters. So I didn't want to be a part of that, and I wanted to build trust. So I wanted people to know, hey, if I back this guy's stuff within a reasonable time, I'm going to get it. So I definitely wanted to build trust like that.
Cool. Yeah. No, I think that's very important, if not the most important thing, honestly.
Yeah, because we as fans, we know as you if you probably back Kickstarters before, like you said, like like you've not gotten them back, or it takes years or a long time, and it's like sometimes
Yeah.
the hype you had for that book is gone, and so I
Hmm.
don't want that at all. I want if you're hyped for my book, I want you to get it as quick as possible. So once you read it, you because like DC and Marvel and Image. They release books every month, and then like we know about the book like maybe a month or two before it comes out, and we're
Hmm.
hyped. We get it, we read it, we feel okay, this is dope. Then we come back next month, and it's like I want that same feel for my comics and for my fans. So I want I really I don't want them waiting a long time for books, which but us as indie creators it's like that sometimes and it sucks.
Right.
But that's what I'm working. So, I get bigger. If I get bigger, hopefully I can push out books quicker and stuff like that. So
Right.
that's the
Right.
goal.
Cool. All right. So you already kind of plugged the YouTube a little bit. Where else can we find you?
You can find me 615 Comics. You can look me up. It's real easy. You can look me up on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. I'm even on there. I think there's a Yo and Nerd Tumblr page that I'm not
That's a
using.
throwback.
But yeah, you can find me anywhere. Facebook, if you just look up 615 Comics, I'll be there. Yeah, real easy to find. Or my website, 615comics.com, links you to everything I do, all my books. And so that's the easiest way to contact me, or
and
Instagram.
and that's spelled out, right? 615 is all spelled
Yes.
out.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I
Mm.
do have to tell people that because like when I say 615, they start going to the numbers. But yeah, 615 is spelled out and with letters, not numbers. So 615comics.com.
Perfect. Okay. So I got one, I guess it's kind of two questions. I got two
Okay,
questions that are completely unrelated to comics.
let's
saw a
go.
TikTok you posted either this morning or yesterday, or I don't know. But I see that you're a wrestling guy.
Hey,
So WrestleMania, who do you got walking out as the either world title for the men's?
okay. I'm hoping Randy Orton, bro. I'm tired of Cody Rhodes. I'm so
Say,
tired of
well,
Cody
okay,
Rhodes.
I can't get behind the tired of Cody Rhodes. I get it, but I'm on the Randy train.
Yes, I want Randy. Of course, I've been. Randy is Randy. Randy is Randy.
Hmm.
Like we love Randy. Ben loved Randy since Evolution. So I want Randy to win his 15th title. I definitely want that to happen. Um, as far as the Roman CM Punk, who I don't really know who I want to win. I'm a bigger Roman fan, so I of course I want Roman to win, but I like CM Punk as champion. I like what he's doing.
Right.
I like him as champion. So if I'm gonna have to I'm gonna pick some. I'm not gonna be a punk and not pick one. So dang, I want Roman. I want Roman. I want to see what happens if
I
Roman wins.
okay.
I really don't want to say that, but I think I'm more interested to see what happens if Roman wins
I
than
get
what
it.
happens if CM Punk wins. But either or, I'm good with. But I'm gonna pick Roman.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer. And I think up until last week, I was on the fence myself. I was like, I don't know, like, because I really like CM Punk's one of my all-time favorites. Roman is
Mhm.
one of my current favorites. So like I was torn. I'm not crazy about the idea of having a part-time champion again potentially.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like that segment last week when Roman just dog walked CM Punk gave me so much joy, and I don't know why. And I was like, I guess that answers my question about who I want to win this.
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah, like I think it's gonna be a great match, though. I think it's gonna be an incredible match. That I think it's gonna be dope. So I definitely can't wait for that one. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman on this one.
okay, so we got the same picks because I got Randy Roman too. I'm hoping that's how it works out.
Yeah, yeah. It's shaping out to be a I know people were a little scared about how WrestleMania was gonna go. I seen some people like worried like online and stuff, but I
Hmm.
think so far I think this is being is a nice card for WrestleMania so far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're talking about all these empowered women. We might as well talk about the women world titles too, right? Who you
Yes.
got for them?
Who so oh my god, Jaden Rhea is so hard, bro.
That's dude,
Ooh,
that's a tough one for me because my friends were asking me that the other day, and part of me is like, well, maybe they'll give it to Rhea, but then the other part of me is like, they just gave Jade like backup. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, what's the point of giving her like backup and a faction and whatever if it's going to amount to nothing and her still losing? Like,
exactly. Exactly. Um who I want to win. I for your read for what you just said, I want Jade to win because what was the point of giving her faction? And I like B Fab and Meechin. I feel
mhm,
like I always say her name wrong, but I like both of them, but they don't really get enough shine. So
yeah,
I think with them being with Jade, and if Jade continues the title and keep going them as a faction, they can get more shine. So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna go with Jade, but I'm a huge Rhea fan. Huge
yeah,
Rhea fan. I
yeah.
think everybody is. Oh, Stephanie Valkyrie and Liv Morgan. Who I
That
want
that
Stephanie
one's
to
a
win.
that one's a toss up to me. I feel
It
like
is.
Liv might take it, but that's a tough one.
It is very tough. I think Liv could win, but I like Stephanie. I like her reign so far, and I want to see the storyline if Liz does not win. I think that's gonna be more interesting than
Ooh,
if she actually does win.
okay, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I
where
can
you
see
gonna
that.
go? Because you got the drama with the Judgment Day. So if she doesn't win, where does that drama continue there? Does that fire up there? So I just think the storyline, and I love Liv as champion too. So that tears me up. But I think the storyline, if she's not champion, would be better if she is. Just to see where they go with that. Because I think she could
Okay.
start going on a rampage and just start taking out people. Like
Yeah.
I think and then her and Raquel, man, who I and then but if she does win the title, how does her and Raquel's relationship from there? Because
Yeah.
Raquel's been chasing the title. Oh, actually, I might have to take my answer back. Okay. I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with Stephanie. I'm gonna stick with Stephanie because I really do think the storyline with Liv would be interesting if she does not have the title.
Okay. All right. So we got final answer. We got Randy, Roman, Jade, and then Stephanie Vauquer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Final answer. Yes.
Okay, okay. I like it. I like it. Cool. Well, this has been awesome. I appreciate, you giving me your time. Thank you for hitting me up. And like I said, I was looking forward to having this conversation. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on your platform. I always appreciate when people take the time out to have me on their platform and help me promote what I'm doing. So it's definitely doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And hopefully we'll do this for the next one.
Yeah, and also I just want to say I like your content. I'm a fan of your. That's why I hit you up because I'm actually a fan of your content. So I definitely wanted to say thank you for having me on, and also that I like your content and continue making the content because I'm watching.
I appreciate it. It means more than you know.
Right.
So there you have it. Thema the Queen of War, issue number 1. The campaign is active right now. And to recap some of the things that we talked about, he's got a bunch of reward options. There's 3 different covers that you can buy. And I'll be honest, after he told me about the collector's edition version, I had to upgrade my pledge to that because I love that idea of having extra never before seen art included in the book. You can also buy his full digital library if that's something up your alley. And you can also add on some posters and some of his other comics if you prefer physical copies. So from the time I talked to Malcolm to now, the book has already hit the next stretch goal that we talked about. He's reached 2K. The book is 200% funded, I guess is how the math works. There's over 75 backers on the project, and you're going to get your book. You've got 20 days left to pledge. I'll leave the link in the description. And with that said, I'll catch you guys later.